Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Now, let's take a look at Obama's, most transparent administration ever. We've all seen how that's been playing out. But let's take a look at what press freedom is going to look like under a Hillary Clinton presidency.
Well, let me answer one of your questions because I think that's what you are entitled to.
So this is the same woman that roped off reporters and corralled them so they couldn't get too close to her. Now, you can see the disdain she has for the Fourth Estate, who are meant to check those in power. And of course, she does not appreciate being checked. So that's how she's treating people. Now, Hillary Clinton, she's Planned Parenthood's champion. So she's also come out now calling the GOP terrorists for wanting to defund Planned Parenthood. But I really liked what Governor Bobby Jindal had to say about that. He slammed Clinton for her hypocrisy, saying that her foundation has raised money from countries that terrorize women. He said she must be confused to think that 50% of Americans who oppose abortion are terrorists, because Hillary Clinton, she should take a look in the mirror. Her foundation has raised money from countries that prevent women from driving, legalize spousal rape, and allow for genital mutilation. And of course, while Clinton was the Secretary of State, the Clinton Foundation received funds from a group on the State Department's list of banned terrorist organizations and one of the world's leading financial sponsors of Hamas. So I'm really starting to like the way that Governor Jindal is responding to all of these people out there who want to implement their totalitarianism. You'll recall just last week, there was protesters out there protesting him wanting to defund Planned Parenthood. And so he said, you know what? Well, then I'm going to go ahead and project those undercover Planned Parenthood videos on the side of the governor's mansion. So if you want to be out here protesting, you can at least see what you are supporting. And it's that same sort of attitude of just standing up in the face of totalitarianism that we would like to see Rand Paul do. We want to see Rand Paul stop being so gentlemanly and just start being non-PC. You can see the country is hungry for that. That's why they're responding to Donald Trump. Now, Washington Post has come out today saying, oh, look at Rand Paul's sneak attack strategy. It's not good enough for you to stand back politely like a gentleman, which is exactly what Alex Jones had to say today on the show.
But look at it. I've been telling Rand Paul for a year to act aggressive. And now Trump has shown you that I'm right. It's sitting right there in front of you. And don't be above adopting strategies. And I know full well Rand Paul is a guy's guy and drinks beer and whatever. But he's got the doctor's affect of acting real gentlemanly and calming his patients. The patients don't need to be calmed, doctor. Let your hair down. Show people who you really are. Get in there and kick Trump's ass if you want to win this thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm done ranting about Rand Paul. That's my message to him. But the coup de grace, the cherry on top, what pushed me over the edge to say all that, was coming in here and reading the Washington Post praising you of what a smarty pants you are. The Washington Post is your friend, right? They were attacking you when you were the leader. Now they're going, that's right. You tie the bowling balls to your legs and you jump in the North Atlantic. That's how you swim. Never mind this life jacket. Yes, put the bowling balls on now. Now padlock them, throw the key away. Yeah, just that plank right over there. Just go over to that. Just get on it. And then jump off right in there. And then that's how you're going to win. Oh, you need help carrying the bowling balls? Here, let us help you. Oh, we're your friends, see? It's kind of like in Goodfellas where he's telling her he wants to kill her. And he goes, just go in there. Got some free fur coats. Yeah, just right in the door, right there. It's I'm sorry. They have like the sword all sharpened and aimed at his heart. Sir, if you just fall forward right on this, it'll fix all your problems, and you'll be president of the United States. All those people up there in D.C. are there to try to keep their job and get hired by the next politician.
But let's talk about this society that is obsessed with political correctness. What is that going to look like in the future? Was Bryce Williams, a.k.a. Vester Flanagan, a product of the PC society? The gunman was offended by everything. Now, you might have heard that he was motivated by racist comments made by Parker. Now, somehow these terms that she used, like swinging by an address or going out into the field while she was an intern, insulted him and angered him because he thought that Parker's use of the term out into the field was a reference to Black slavery. He would say stuff like, well, out in the field, what do you mean, like picking cotton? That's racist. When going out in the field, reporters go out in the field when they do it's just part of the jargon if you're in the industry. Also, a manager brought in a watermelon to share with employees, and Williams took that as a racist insult. He's like, nope, this is out for me. You guys are calling me out because I'm Black. Now, I'm sorry, David Knight's son, Travis, brought in a watermelon to the office and did not share it with any of us, and I thought that was very racist. I was offended by that. But I mean, that's just the problem here. When you have this kind of victim mentality, when you're a racist yourself and everything you see is racist, then you're going to act like this. And now this PC culture is actually creating lunatics who are going out and killing people.
Warning. This report is by a belligerent journalist. The updated Law of War Manual has now awarded the military the capability to hold a journalist deemed an unprivileged belligerent without charges and indefinitely. New Defense Department guidelines allow commanders to punish journalists and treat them as unprivileged belligerents if they believe journalists are sympathizing or cooperating with the enemy. The Geneva Convention does not afford such unprivileged belligerents the same basic human rights given to the average citizen. The manual adds, reporting on military operations can be very similar to collecting intelligence or even spying. A journalist who acts as a spy may be subject to security measures and punished if captured. It is not specific as to the punishment or under what circumstances a commander can decide to punish a journalist. Another provision says that relaying of information could be construed as taking a direct part in hostilities. Officials said that is intended to refer to passing information about ongoing operations, locations of troops, or other classified data to an enemy. This could easily be applied to any journalist covering the highly publicized Jade Helm operations.
I'm here at Camp Swift right outside of Bastrop, Texas, where an exercise that has never been done will take place.
Frank Smith, senior advisor for journalist security at the Committee to Protect Journalists, said, at a time when international leadership on human rights and press freedom is most needed, the Pentagon has produced a self-serving document that is unfortunately helping to lower the bar. It was only 2 months ago when retired U.S. Army General and the former Supreme Allied Commander of Europe for NATO, Wesley Clark, advocated rounding up radicalized and disloyal Americans and putting them in internment camps for the duration of the war on terror.
I do think on a national policy level, we need to look at what self-radicalization means, because we are at war with this group of terrorists. They do have an ideology. In World War II, if someone supported Nazi Germany at the expense of the United States, we didn't say that was freedom of speech. We put him in a camp. They were prisoners of war.
Well, the difference is that World War II was a war declared under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2 of the Constitution, whereas the War on Terror is undeclared and thus illegal. Clark is in essence advocating a life sentence for people who have not committed a crime but merely engaged in speech, often reprehensible yet constitutionally protected. The government considers radical and in opposition to its foreign policy. The Edward Snowden leaks reveal that the war on terror at home continues to grind on, capturing in its dragnet millions of Americans and foreigners, many of them innocent of any crime. The war on terror has become institutionalized, and the domestic costs of this war continue to mount. Privacy is being eroded, communications are being monitored, and dissent is being cracked down on. And there's no end in sight to this domestic juggernaut, writes Alex Kane. Clark's remarks reveal the mindset of the upper echelon of government. Mass internment of official enemies on par with Nazi Germany and Stalin's Soviet Union is now on the table. Do we really have to remind the ignoramus stuffed shirts over at the military-industrial complex of the First Amendment? The First Amendment to the United States Constitution, where it prohibits abridging the freedom of speech and infringing on the freedom of the press. Is this where we are headed when it comes to free speech? Hillary Clinton recently compared the Republican Party to terrorists. You have to ask yourself, if Hillary's campaign had been a shining success rather than a dismal criminal failure, would the Republican Party have been rounded up and sent to Gitmo? And is our Shanghai government only a clock tick away from declaring war on its own people? Or is this just an indication that they already have? John Bound for Infowars.com.
Hi, I'm Shane Steiner. A lot of you have been following my progress using Super Male Vitality. The last 19 weeks has been an incredible experience. I was feeling a little down and lethargic during the holidays, and none of the supplements that I was taking were doing any good. That's when my longtime friend from high school, Alex Jones, introduced me to Super Male Vitality. I was a little skeptical at first. Not only would I have the energy to work out and go to the gym, but it was actually the changes were happening to my body a lot more rapidly. My whole mood, my libido, everything had completely changed. The concentrated organic herbs, they stimulate your natural systems to produce the natural hormones that you need. I just really wanted to bulk up and hit it hard, and I went in for about the first 5 weeks and was lifting heavy weight and just really hitting it hard, and I gained 20 pounds of muscle immediately. Since that, I've decided I was gonna lose some weight and slim down. I just changed up my workout a little bit, and 35 pounds came off. Folks, this is not a joke. This is not a gimmick, it's real. Super Male Vitality, available at InfoWarsLife.com.